The establishment of monarchy in ancient Israel was a theological disaster that God explicitly opposed, which should fundamentally challenge how we conceptualize divine authority today. So, quick aside about 1 Samuel. Isn't it interesting that Eli gets his entire lineage cut off because his sons are corrupt priests? But when Samuel's sons take bribes and pervert justice, Samuel faces zero consequences, and the text never addresses this double standard. Sometimes scripture's inconsistencies are worth sitting with, but here's the larger point. Israel demands a king after Samuel's sons fail, and God's response obliterates any simplistic theology of divine determinism. God explicitly tells Samuel that the people haven't rejected Samuel, they've rejected God as their king. And the subsequent warning catalog in 1 Samuel 8 reads like a dystopian political theory: military conscription, forced labor, property seizure, systematic taxation. God essentially says, you want hierarchical human power structures? Here's your future. And they choose it anyway. What's fascinating is that whoever edited these texts together, scholars call them redactors, basically the ancient editors who compiled and shaped these stories, kept this anti-monarchy critique intact. Think about it. They're writing during or after the monarchy, yet they preserve this foundational text that says that kings were never God's idea. And while the historians that follow Deuteronomy favor David and legitimize dynastic succession elsewhere, they maintain this tension. The Hebrew Bible's ambivalence towards monarchy is not an accident. It's theological resistance preserved in canonical form. This matters for contemporary theology too. Dr. Wil Gafney argues that even using the word Lord in our prayer language emerges from slaveholding contexts: kyrios and dominus, master. And when we exclusively use imperial metaphors for the divine, we're theologically legitimizing the very power structures that Samuel and lots of scripture critiques. The biblical editors understood something that sometimes we've forgotten. Divine authority and human power structures are not synonymous. If Scripture itself preserves skepticism towards concentrated power, then we should be reimagining our God language. And that's not liberal revisionism, it's actually fidelity to what the Bible does itself. The God who warned against kings might not be thrilled with our imperial Christologies either. Real theological imagination means finding language that sounds like liberation, not domination.